Radio Free Tatooine presents Galactic War Report, a Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes podcast.
Boshuda, fellow Holotable hustlers, you're tuned into Galactic War Report, a Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes podcast that's better than some and worse than others. I'm Sean, aka the other Sean, and sitting across the Holotable from me is Josh, aka the Golden Pop-Tart.
So these are one of these episodes where I'm so glad we have a podcast, because there's so much to talk about, and there's so much that... I mean, it's crazy how this game brings so much emotions into life.
There are feelings that you and I need to get out. That's what you all get to deal with this week. What a week. What a week. And last week, you know, we were looking at this week saying, we get Jedi Master Mace.
Yeah.
That's cool. But... the fates have decided that's not the top story this week. It's not the second top story.
Nope.
It's a week, and we're gonna get into it. Relic Delta, you guys. Relic Delta. It's them some fighting words.
Yes, they are.
So we're gonna talk about that and try and. I feel like. In the Galaxy of Heroes community, it's easy to say, hey, here's what happened. Or you can take it one step further and say, hey, here's what happened, and here's why you should be mad about it. Right? Like, that's the very online thing to do. Yeah. What I aim to do, and we'll get to it. We're not doing it yet. We got things to talk about that are better than this first. What I aim to do is to say, here's what happened, and here's what I'm thinking about it, and the journey I've gone on, and the journey I expect to go on. Because, I don't know, man, it's a big deal, and there are feelings to feel. So, like I said, we'll get to that. Also, we don't have a whole lot more details on this, and I don't think we're going to get into it too much, but EA was purchased this week, so we'll talk about that slightly. Boy, there's some landmines we can step on there, aren't there?
Mm-hmm. Oh
man. And then additionally, you know, there are some updates, some new characters, new B-Wing. We'll talk about that as well. All that and whatever we can fit into this episode. My goodness. But first, let's have some cake. Let's celebrate some Blirfdays. Let the good times roll, I say. And this week, they're rolling. We have a couple good ones. We have Hondo Onaka, a very man of the hour, so to speak. 3 years ago, on the 5th, is when he hit the holotables. I couldn't have told you that. I don't remember how long he'd been in the game. Yeah, October 5th of 2022 is when we got our first neutral character who then became a dark side character, which is kind of fitting. He'd never really redeems himself. He just kind of plays both sides, you know? So that's on the 5th. On the 6th, we have Marauder. I forget about Marauder. Even when I go into a battle with Marauder, I forget about it because I'm so laser focused on taking Anakin out that I'm like, oh yeah, and there's Marauder over there. How about that? It's a good ship though, that side. It is. Very solid ship. On the 6th, that is turning 2 years old. On the 7th, we have Fennec Shand turning 4, and Jedi Master Luke and Sith Eternal Emperor sharing a Blirfday. 5 years in the game. And it seems, I don't know, it seems like longer, but I guess that's right. Huh. That's crazy. 5 years. I guess that's half of the game.
Yeah.
half of the game's life. We've had those two. All right. On the 8th, we have Marok, who just became accelerated as we record merely hours ago. Man, he's great. Out of that trio, he's the one that I'm waiting for his turn. You know, like Balin does some neat stuff. Shin does some neat stuff. It's a fine team. But when it's Marok's turn, someone's going down.
Yeah, they are. And
it's satisfying. That's what we should do. We should come up with a list of most satisfying characters in the game.
Because like that.
Like playing, there can be like good teams. Like, I mean, there's Galactic Legend tier teams. Let's do a Galactic Legend. Let's say Spectre is a good team, and it can beat a lot. You know, it doesn't beat everything, but like in the grand scheme of things, very powerful team. And then you have Darth Bane. Mm-hmm. Which one's more fun? Which one's more satisfying?
Oh, yeah.
It's Darth Bane, right? It's Supreme Leader Kylo is satisfying. Jedi Master Kenobi is usually satisfying unless you burn the insta-kill on something that can't be defeated. That is a real bad feel. But yeah, I'd say Marok is right up there with most satisfying characters. I get giddy when it's his turn. I love it.
Honestly, I like the whole team because in Conquest, when Shin does her like push, people die. You know, it's like in any of those characters that you went in Conquest that you can just basically delete, like the whole 5 team. Like that's pretty nice. But I'm with you. Like in general pieces with Marok, he really is a great character. Actually, I really love that team in the 2 people that sit in the back and, you know, they're just back of the car doing absolutely nothing. But
absolutely. I'll run like, she's so important. I can't even think of her name. The shapeshifter from episode 2.
Oh yeah.
Bounty hunter, in purple.
Yeah, she's a Changling. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I don't.
You put me on the spot too, and I am not there.
I know. I'm not even like tired. We record late, and half the time I'm like exhausted.
Zam.
That's not even. Zam Wessel. Oh my goodness. I'm usually running Zam, and she's just back there like taking her turns, doing nothing. Mm-hmm. And like I said, when Marok's turn comes around, I know someone's going down, so it's fine. And then on the 9th, we have Chimera. Chimera turning 8 years old. And still one of the most disrespected fleets in the game, I would say. Because it came out and it was dominant. Really good, right? But it kind of came out before territory battles. And here come Negotiator and Malevolence. And everyone's like, whoa, look at these. These are crazy. So it had its little moment there. And then when Leviathan came out, you could beat it with Chimera, and suddenly it's revitalized and it's awesome again. So anyways, Chimera, I am hopeful that someday it'll be good again. There's a chance that Home 1 gets kind of better soon. Well, it will get kind of better, but we'll kind of talk about how realistic that is. I do think Chimera would be I'd like to see that back in the mix a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look at this week's upcoming in-game events brought to you by swgohevents.com. For a complete list of past, present, and future events, swgohevents.com is a universe of info in a galaxy of heroes. And I got to tell you, there's not a lot on this list, and that's fine. Mm-hmm. Because this is one of those weeks where it's territory battle. Thank goodness. Like our guild, we had territory battle and grand arena and a raid finishing all in the same day. And I think I'm forgetting something. Conquest, of course. It can be a lot. So right now we're territory battling. We're conquesting. I don't need a lot more than that right now. On the 3rd, we have an Omega battle on Jakku. On the 5th, we have a training droid smuggling. On the 6th, we have another Omega battle, this time on Bespin. This is like the most boring list I've ever read. Look at this. On the 7th, there's an Endor escalation. That's the most exciting thing on this list is Endor escalation. Goodness me. And then on the 10th, we have another Omega battle. Imperial Fleet. Wow. That's amazing. So that is a milquetoast list right there is what that is. Yikes. So 60% of what I just read is Omega battles.
Yeah.
Hot diggity. All right. Well, we're going to occupy ourselves by worrying about Relic Delta.
I know,
so
right?
It's fine. Let's all just kind of chill for a second here.
I've seen like a quote before where they say, okay, in your calendar, work calendar, set some time to cry. Like, I think what this does is it gives us a little bit of time to cry. I mean,
yeah. I mean, look, Endor escalation's on the 7th. Omega battle's not till the 10th. So you've got the 8th and the 9th for just crying.
Yeah, there you go.
Hold if you got a dog or a cat, hold it real close.
Get your weighted blanket,
Get a weighted blanket, some ice cream, something like that. Oh, man. All right. Before we dive into this week's top stories, I want to give a quick shout out to our fantastic Patreon supporters. If you enjoy what we do and you want to be a part of our exclusive community, head over to patreon.com/Galactic War Report. You get VIP access to our Discord server, early access to episodes, and of course, our weekly Doth Chat, where we chat with patrons each Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Your support keeps the lights on and the sandcrawlers running. Now then, punch it, Pop-Tart.
All right. Well, why don't we start
and really knock it out? It needs a good punch this week.
I think that the nice thing is we did get something nice. And I'm going to say nice. I'm not going to say like fancy, but nice, right? So Mace Windu, actually, not Doe.
No, you don't say window around that guy. Really, he has a bit of an aversion to it.
That would be pretty interesting. But yeah, so the event is out there. Now, I will say right off the bat, there are some folks that are having some challenges and they know there's something wrong and they're going to fix it at some point. This is the next update. It does sound like if you're not able to do it right now, you can, it should be able to work here the next update. So do you know what that is? I couldn't see anything, but
I completed the event and then I saw that there was an issue with it. And I couldn't bring myself to go read what the issue was because I just want to forget about the event. It was I just kept thinking it's just not fun, man. It's just not fun. And the first two tiers, like first tier was tough, but I had to do a remod, which for these kind of events is that's what you're signing up for. Okay. Second tier was like easy peasy, no problem. And then that third tier with Kanan, I tried and failed and thought, okay, we remod, sure. And then I failed several more times. And I looked up a strategy guide and I failed several more times. And I will say there is a swing to get it. Like when you get it, you're kind of like, okay, I think I got a feel for this. I could do this a few more times, right?
Yeah.
But here's my thing is I mentioned before, this is a week where we have conquest. We have territory battles. We had a raid, I think, still finishing.
Yep.
All this stuff to do. And I'm stuck here remodding Temple Guard again and trying again and again and again and again and again. And I was like, this is, I saw it compared to the rock, paper, scissors of Kylo and Rey.
Yeah.
That's not very far off of what we were up against. Yes, there's a little puzzle there. I see what you did there. But, so that was my experience with it.
Yeah.
Whatever. I beat it. It's fine. I have him now, but I kept on that Kylo level thinking, this is really, really just not fun.
Yeah. But it feels like when you look at the event and the quality of the event, too, like there's nothing, right? Like there's not
no cutscenes or anything.
No cutscenes.
I mean, I think there's a couple of little not animated cutscenes, just the little like text box things. Yeah.
But it would have been awesome to see him attacking Sith Eternal, or like doing that scene or something. I don't know. It just, I guess the effort into making it was not great in my opinion. I mean,
now the last tier. Ooh, big spoiler if you're really trying to see the story behind this. That came from the Tartakovsky series, didn't it?
Yeah.
That's the scene out of the Genndy Tartakovsky Cartoon Network.
Takes the nuts and bolts out of them. That was cool.
Yes,
that was really cool.
I thought that was pretty cool.
And I mean, so yes,
I like
that part though. That was just fun, and the fact that you can just go do that, and you can. I mean, it doesn't matter what you do. You can press any button, and you're going to be fine. But it's still. Right?
I was terrified I was going to screw it up still because
too,
every other tier was like, haha, I win.
I mean, I do enjoy that. I mean, there is a little bit of a zoom in to him. Like, I like the background isn't something that we've seen. It looks like the old raid for a moment. It's pretty cool. And, but it just, again, I'm with you. Like, I don't want to have to go through and I don't have to think too much. I know it sounds bad, and
I hear you. That's the thing. At the end of the day, it's a game, and it's a mobile game. And I know that we live about this mobile game. We build our lives around it. Yes. We podcast about it. It's a big thing, but it's a mobile game. And when an event comes out that's only around for, I don't even know how long that was around. Is it a day, a couple days, something like that? I don't know. Maybe it's still going. Whatever. But a limited time thing comes out, and like you have to beat your head against a wall to figure out what's even going on, and look up all these strategy guides and all this stuff. Like, I just feel like sometimes it could just be a game, instead of a giant puzzle. Just give me this character with the lightsaber and let me hit that guy a few times, please.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, I think the fact that the game is really it's like strategy. Like, sometimes people that I've had talk to me about it and like, wow, that game sounds really hard. I'm like, yeah, I play a hard game, like it's like those people that, I mean, you play those really tough games, you get done and you're like, yeah, it's a great game. And everybody else is like, man, you were so great. Like that. I get that sometimes, but.
Oh, are you talking about the sense of pride and accomplishment?
Yeah. Right.
You got it. You got it. All right.
So I think about like that type of stuff, but then on the other piece, sometimes I just want to hit. I just want to win, I think sometimes when it's like the people that play Madden on the hardest level, and so then
why are you doing that?
Yeah. Right? It's like those folks, right? That, they're going against the number one player, like in the whole world, and they just love that competition. I'm not that all the time, right? Like, I want to win, but on the other side of it, sometimes I want to beat somebody by 100.
Yeah.
I would love an opportunity in this game to feel like I can beat someone by 100, at least in PV, PVE at least, but
it just similarly reminds me of anytime there's a video game where it says like, what do you want your starting life to be? Do you want to have like 3 lives or 5 and I'm like, how high does this number go? Mm-hmm. I'll take 100. If it means after I die 3 times, I'm still playing the video game that I want to sit down and play, I get the challenge, but whatever. I wanna wreck some face sometimes, especially after a long grind to get a character, and it shows up. Don't upset me. Don't make me work for it now.
And I'm with you. Like, if you're waiting this long, I don't want it to be a trudge. I want it to be a victory.
Yep.
You know, because to be honest, I didn't even look at the event. I remember watching it when he first came out the first time, watched a ton of people play it, you know, the old, I wish I had him. And then
someday
right?
I'll have Mace.
But I guess all of this grind got me to the point where I'm like, I'm just gonna go into it without knowing. And then I get into it, I'm like, oh man, I was just like smiling and happy a moment ago that I realized it's open now.
Tier 1 got hands.
I know. They threw them all right. But still, love the character. I'm really looking forward to, you know, TB Omicron on the team as well. So that's going to be nice.
Yeah, that is really tempting. I haven't done it yet, but I like the look of that. That and the Apo one. I want to do Apo as well.
Did get Apos, but yeah, so that's the Mace Windu event. Now we do have another update as well, because obviously anytime we get an update usually means that we also have a character that is going to be finally farmable. And so Kix, guess what? Get your light sign on finally. Tired of these fleet ones, so thank you for going into. So that is light side 1D hard node, of course. Now, also as well inside of that, there is additive drops and Cantina for our Captain Drogon. So that's great too. Does that start tomorrow? So
I actually did not even know. I missed that. I didn't know that was coming. But that totally makes sense. I mean, he's the pilot for the new B-Wing, so got to make sure people have him.
Got to catch them all.
Absolutely.
So yes. So from there, that's kind of where we are as a whole. Why don't we go into Rebel B, and then leave the fun for the end? Yeah,
the good stuff. So Rebel B-Wing is really, honestly, what I was hoping for. It's a home one lifter. Yeah. And man, that's exactly what I was hoping we would get, is some love for those old fleets. So now we have 2 Rebel fleets, and we do have to kind of talk as a community about what we're going to do. Mom and Dad are living in different houses, and all the kids have to figure out where they want their main bedroom to be, right? Yeah. So we've got some real synergy with certain teams. Like Rogue One is going to be with Profundity.
Yep.
Outrider is going to be with Profundity, right? Y-Wing. Ooh, boy. I don't know. There are some question marks now. So we'll figure that all out. I mean, honestly, like Profundity is still the main Rebel fleet. It's the good one, the one they want you to focus, or not the one they want you to focus on, but the one they want to perform the best, because it takes more to earn than a home one fleet does. That said, this is supposed to lift home one into like somewhat like a little relevance. Maybe it can knock out a negotiator now, or something along those lines. Whereas before, let's be honest, it wasn't really beating anything. So, that's absurd. Admiral Akbar, Return of the Jedi. There's not much more of an iconic ship battle than Return of the Jedi. I say what you will about something like the Holdo maneuver's awesome, right? But when you think of like the greatest ship battles, like come on, that Death Star assault, whew,
it's a trap. I mean, come on,
give me like we've got what, 3 Falcons already? Give me like old man Lando's Falcon, and maybe that flies with this, huh? Maybe, I don't know. With a 9 Num character, oh come on, that would General Calrissian with 9 Num piloting yet another Millennium Falcon. Sign me up. I am there.
There you go.
Oh my goodness. This is the first time I've thought of that, and my heart is like, I can tell you on my watch. What's my heart rate? It's going. I don't know. Okay. So what's it do? It is, let's see. It's only got a few moves here. The basic is called Giril, I think is how you pronounce it, R9X Heavy Laser Cannon. And it deals physical damage to target enemy with a 20% chance to target lock them for 1 turn. 100% if the capital ship is home 1. If the allied capital ship is home 1, Rebel B-Wing gains offense up for 1 turn. And then if they're already target locked, you inflict evasion down for 1 turn. Special 1 is Blockade Buster. With a cooldown of 3, deal physical damage to all enemies and inflict them with accuracy down and defense down for 2 turns. Rebel B-Wing dispels all debuffs on itself and gains protection up 10% for 2 turns. If the allied capital ship is home 1, call a random ally with defense up to assist, dealing 50% less damage. Grant the assisting ally crit damage up for 1 turn. And if they are already target locked, you daze all enemies for with target lock for 1 turn. Then we have a second special called Composite Beam Laser. And this is deal physical damage to all enemies, and Rebel B-Wing gains crit damage up for 2 turns. If the capital ship is home 1, inflict evasion down on all enemies for 1 turn. If target enemy is already inflicted with evasion down, ability block them for 1 turn instead and deal 100% bonus damage. This ability starts on cooldown. If the capital ship is home 1, the cooldown of this ability is reduced to 1 at the start of the battle. The cooldown is normally 5. So huge advantage there.
Oh, yeah.
And that looks so cool. It's the one where all 4 points of it meet in the center and then one awesome beam comes out. Love it.
Great.
Then we have a unique called Tactical Maneuver. At the start of the battle, if the allied capital ship is home 1, gain 10% max health until the end of the battle. Whenever Rebel B-Wing is damaged by an enemy, gain 25% turn meter and retribution for 2 turns. When Rebel B-Wing attacks out of turn, reduce all cooldowns on home 1. Oh, love it. Excluding call reinforcements by 1. Whenever B-Wing gains Master Plan, all Rebel allies gain 25% crit chance, stacking for the rest of the encounter. Whenever Master Plan expires, B-Wing gains Tactical Supremacy for 2 turns, which can't be copied. And then it's Reinforce. It's called Stay on Course. And it's when it enters the battle, grant Rebel allies advantage and defense up for 1 turn. If the allied capital ship is home 1 and there are no deployed Scoundrel allies, which I guess any Lando would have to be a Scoundrel, right? Grant home 1 a bonus turn, and their cooldowns are reset, excluding call reinforcement. So, and I don't know if I mentioned, I think I did earlier, Drogon, Captain Drogon is the pilot. That's great news because most people have him at pretty high relic level. So I think that's, I think this looks very exciting. And of course, you lift home 1, and my little idea of Lando looks like it's silly. I forgot about the Scoundrel call out thing. But like there's some talk that, well, if home 1's getting good and we need some more Rebel ships, could it be finally a Red 5?
I mean, it would make
sense.
sense.
I say the words? Did I say the words? Red 5? Maybe. I don't know if that would be conquest worthy or higher. I mean, that feels like that's got to be
a legendary event.
A galactic legend kind of thing. Man.
I mean, has there been a legendary, just regular ship? I don't think
Chimera wasn't it?
Oh.
Chimera's legendary.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's the only one. The rest of them all have events or whatever. So I'm excited by this. I think B-Wing, it's a ship that I've always loved the design of the B-Wing. I think it's a
Me too.
really cool looking ship, and this looks like it could certainly help. So what do you pair it with? I mean, it's like Y-Wing, Wedge, and Biggs all come to mind. Non-scoundrel rebels. Hold on, I'm going to pull them all up here because it's not like I spend a lot of time looking at the rebel ships that I don't use. Rebels. So like we said, Home One is right out. Outrider's right out. Han's Falcon is right out. Cassian's U. You want that for profundity.
Yeah.
Phantom and Ghost, maybe. I could see Phantom and Ghost. Raven's Claw, I think he's not a scoundrel, is he? Kyle? No, he's not.
No, he's mercenary.
I mean, when we start scraping for Raven's Claw, we start thinking, yeah, they need something else.
They do.
So, I don't know. It's an exciting ship. I think one or two more ships. They could do like an A-Wing or something. That could be really cool. But a couple more ships and this could turn into something.
Yeah.
Is kind of how I feel. It's not nothing, but it's not something yet.
Yeah. I mean, it's ships again. I think there's people that love them, people that hate them. Yeah. But if they can make it just a little bit better, just in general, and they just need more ships. I mean, if they seriously just got more ships, which is weird to say that, you know?
It's the same thing, the same problem that they have been trying to solve in squads, and Relic Delta will tie into this. But I think in many ways they have solved or come closer to a solution. Is you got to crack the meta open. Yeah. You can't have one team that can only be beat by one other thing. Like if you lose this match, you're done. You know, give me 5 or 6 relevant fleets and only require me to put 3 on defense, and we could start having some fun. Because right now, my strategy, other people have much more involved strategies. I put 3 bad fleets on defense so that I know I'll have 3 good attackers going in. And I know my matchups well enough that I can clear. All right, if you made 1 or 2 more fleets, like a little more significant, then I'd have to do some thinking, and my opponent would have to do some thinking, and it's not like the puzzle that I'm talking about with the temple guard where you're like, oh, this is so unfun. No, it's actually like strategic thinking, and I don't know. Maybe it's not that far off of that. To me, it feels better. It feels like what I want to do. So I don't know. All right, let's pivot into some darker conversation.
So we've hinted towards, obviously, and we know what the cat's out the bag, which I still think is such a crazy. I mean, who put the cat in the bag originally, and why are we
my cat puts itself in the bag? Is what happens. My cat's a lunatic.
Man, I was thinking so much darker. You said darker. I was thinking like a pillowcase. Like,
oh yeah,
right. Like,
no, he'd do that too. He's pretty dumb. He's
well. I think I'm going way darker than pillowcase with a hammer. Like that is bad, right? I think so. Yeah. I think that's about as grim as bad as you can go, right?
Yeah,
That's as dark as you can. Anyways, all right, let's go above from that. Now, we have had, I mean, I think a lot of folks have said this, that this game, when it comes to relics, when you go from 8 to 9, I know all of us have said this, that I'm not going to take my Relic 5, character, whatever that is, and go to 9 because there's no reason to do it. I mean, from
outside of a territory battle gate.
Yeah, correct.
That's
right.
A requirement is the only, Yep.
There you go. And we've talked about that. Like that is something that has been said for years. So I think when we go into kind of what does Relic Delta go through to do, it feels like it solves that situation.
It gives you a why.
Yeah.
Why would I take this character to Relic 8 or 9 if I don't have to?
Let's first go over kind of the guts of what this is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we just got the new post as well. That is the Fireside Chat. You know, that kind of went through and really gave us a good amount of information on kind of what it is. Now, couple sides to this. First off, what is Relic Delta? Basically what it's trying to do is make Relic 5 not be as good as Relic 9 for right reasons, meaning that if you are Relic 5, you shouldn't be able to, and I think they gave the example of a Gear 12 Darth Revan versus a Relic 8 Rey. That just shouldn't be able to beat it. And because of how the relics have been going, where, you know, really Relic 9's great for, you know, health, right? So that means that it's going to be wonderful for tanks, right? It's just really good for it. So if it's not a tank or not a GL, why go to Relic 9? You know, and so what this is basically going to do is make it to where for every single relic level above Relic 5 gives you more power, and it's all going to be about attack. So we know that right now Relic 9 is the highest that we go. Well, guess what? They announced inside of this that Relic 10 will be the next one that's coming out. But what is the difference between Relic 9 to Relic 10? They deemed it wasn't going to be enough power difference. It wasn't going to be really going to be sustainable to continue to increase those relic levels by not really making a drastic shift in the game.
Yeah. Yeah, because they could release Relic 10 and the player base is like, sweet, I took Jedi Master Luke to Relic 10. I guess I'm done.
Yeah.
Like, as it stands, I can see that argument.
Yeah. So I think that's really the main pieces to it is in a lot of cases. Now, when you break down kind of what does it mean? Like, so if you go from Relic 5 and you go up to Relic 6, you're going to have an increase, right? Originally, when we first started this, where we all had our pitchforks and we were getting the plane tickets to go out to where we need to use our pitchfork, I guess. Like
use our pitchfork to fling a pillowcase full of hammers.
There you go. Right?
Did I get this right?
Oh man,
I don't think that's
a tough one. But yeah, so it started off basically if you were Relic 9 and you're going against somebody that's Relic 5, you were 95% more powerful, and they are 95%, unfortunately, less powerful.
Yeah,
so,
and it's important to break apart what that means for number. Because, like, it sounds like the same number, but it's not. Because you're losing 95% of your damage, which means you're doing 5% as much damage as you would have before this change. And they are doing 195% of the damage to you that they would have before this. So they're hitting you approximately twice as hard, and you are just swinging a wet noodle at them.
So I was thinking about this, and I was thinking about, honestly, Mike Tyson, right? Like, imagine.
As one does.
Right? I mean, not weirdly, right? But so if Mike Tyson, now, in some ways, if you're Mike Tyson, all of a sudden you say, you can only swing 5% of, like, it's still going to knock me out. But let's just imagine he's no longer able to swing. He can only tickle, right? That's basically saying, now on the other side of it, but you're going against a Tyson now that has doubled the amount of attack, and you can only basically tickle Tyson. Like,
yeah, I'm not tickling Tyson.
I mean,
that's not.
I have actually what I should say. It's like you're going against their Tyson, and you have Neil deGrasse Tyson. I mean,
and now their Tyson bites the whole ear off.
Right? I mean, it's like,
yeah. Well, so I think when this first got announced, and so we gave that example. That's a relic difference of 4, right? And that was the initial testing. Now they pulled in Egnard's Scribe, Arnold.
Yep.
and several others. Those are the three that I have kind of seen videos from. I know I think Nooch is in it. I don't know. But they've got several people that are kind of testing this out. And they did this test run and everyone was like, whoa, this is way too much. So they did come out with a second version. And this all scales. So like before it was, if the difference was 4 relic levels, it was a 95% difference. And like I said, that 95 means completely different things to the two different teams involved.
Yeah.
But it was 95 was just the number they applied there. And then 3 was 75, 2 was 45, 1 was 20%. So now they scaled it back. They did listen and scale it back and say that, okay, so if there's a difference of 4, if there's 4 relic levels difference, which let's be honest, most of the time there isn't. I think there's a lot of probably relic 5 versus relic 7 happening.
Yeah.
And maybe 8, right? But like 4 is an edge case. That's not something that happens a lot. So anyways, they took that 4 and instead of making it 95%, now in the second version of this, essentially you're only doing a 50% damage penalty. So that's good, right? You were doing 5% of your damage. Now you're doing 50% of your damage. Still stinks, but now it takes twice as many hits instead of 20 times as many hits. So, all right. And then on the other side of it, they changed the 95 to 100. It's a nice round number and it doesn't significantly change it. So they did scale it back in general. I know that 95 to 100, I think that's the only increase because 75 went to 50, 45 went to 20. They scaled it back a lot. And I'm really glad because I see what they're doing, trying to make the higher relic teams more powerful on paper. Like you're like, well, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But again, I don't like it when there's an absolute brick wall situation. And this was looking to me like there was going to be a lot of brick walls if you're penalizing damage that much.
Yeah.
So they have scaled it back. Where it sits now, the worst penalty is you do minus 66%. That is if you are 5 relics different. Again, not very common that happens. There are some teams that punch up quite a bit, but not a whole lot. And this only applies to damage. Your potency, your speed, that stuff's unchanged. So like turn meter type teams and teams that like stun and rely on things like that, there's a good chance some of that stuff will still work. Like stuff that troopers could beat before, troopers can still beat.
Yeah.
You know what? That's an engine that runs and it just takes a little longer now. But that said, there is more.
No, there's definitely more.
That's just a base explanation for anyone who hasn't been following it super closely because there's a lot. There's a lot. I get it.
Well, I do have some notes in here. And so then we have a lot and we're not going to be able to go through everything, but I do think that there's going to be, you know, some stuff in here that really caught my eye. And obviously too, we want to hear, you know, we're going to hear Sean's side too, you know, like,
yeah. And we want to hear y'all's side.
Yeah. Right.
So seriously, like hit us up on Discord, Galactic War Report Discord server, and let's fight, man.
Yes. That's, I'm not a fighter. That's Sean wants to fight.
I'm Relic 9. Let's go, buddy. What do you got?
I'm the guy that won't say anything when their steak is basically still like in a rough spot, right? Or your food. I don't say anything. I will eat it and not say
anything. You're still getting a 20% tip. It's all good. We're fine.
Know, right?
No problems here.
Fault. It's probably my fault.
You didn't. Exactly.
But yes, so
Man.
let's talk through some of these. I want to start with the biggest issue with a lot of this as a whole is going to be the fact that we have new investments that we have to make, and that we have to, you know, for me, right? I only have one Relic 9 Galactic Legend. I'm going to have to Relic 9 all my Galactic Legends. You're just going to have to. I mean, it's going to be, so every main character that I have that I really want to use, I have to go to Relic 9 for. So the reason I'm going to this first is because before we get into all the pieces that aren't going to be as good, or there's different sides to it, or you can have your frustration with it, we can go back to this. And if it truly does, they say, we're going to be changing how players get and invest in new characters, as well as making relic levels easier. So
yeah,
if that's really what's going to happen is that we now if it's going to be easier for me to get to Relic 9, and it's going to be tough as Hades to get to Relic 10, I'm okay with that. Like, I'm seriously okay with that. And
well, you're looking at a Relic Delta of 1 at that point,
yeah.
2.
Which
like,
again,
if you push and get that Relic 10, you're doing 10% more damage, which is not nothing, but it's not game breaking.
Agreed. And I'm good with that. Like, again, yeah. I'm not in Kyber anymore for GAC at the moment, because I'm, being a whiny little bee. So with that being the case, like, I don't deserve, in my opinion, to have to be able to punch up in those cases. I deserve. I know it sounds weird to say that, but either way.
No, I know what you mean, though. Yeah.
So if someone did spend a bunch of money in this game, I truly think, like, you're investing legitimately your cash, and I'm not willing to do that. You are. I'm okay with it, right? So
yeah.
But if they make it easier, and it's not going to be a situation where we have to grind and grind and grind and grind to finally get something that's never going to work, because we just got this update where it's easier for us to get our characters into relics already, right? So I mean, that means that I don't want that to go away. So I want to start with that, just because it does seem like when this does come out, they said they're going to make it easier for the relics to be able to be in there. And even for Relic 10, they're not going to change when it comes to, how do we get the signal data for it? There's going to be brand new signal data that's not in Cantina. So that means that we don't have to stop, utilizing that farm too, right? So I wanted to talk a little bit about that, because I do think there's a lot of other aspects of it that could go wrong. But if this is also what they're saying, it's going to be a little bit easier. I mean, it's the same thing with them cutting back on how much it cost for, credits to get your character up to level 85. That's the case.
I think there's a lot of, like, I'm still, I'm not a fan of it, right? It doesn't fill me with hope when I look at this. Like, oh, I can't wait for this. I'm not that guy. But I'm also, I'm not, like, terrified, because like, I mean, okay, let's be real. I have a pretty big roster. So, like, I don't have the angle of, like, how am I gonna survive? Like, I've got a pretty beefy roster, so I grant you that. But I look at it like the game, to me, had gotten to a bit of a stale place, where you have these new eras come out, and in the era you get a handful of marquee characters, and cool, you can't use them really for a while because you got to build them up. And yeah, they make relics easier, but it's still, you got to build them up to use them in the raid or territory battle or whatever, blah, 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 blah. And so you get into this cadence of that. And like you said earlier, going from Relic 8 to Relic 9 is kind of like, why would you do it? It's such a huge investment, and people don't really benefit from it a lot. So what if we kind of took the game as we know it, from Gear 1 to Relic 9, and we, to some degree, trivialized that and made that like look, that's not a hard grind that you have to break your back to do. Mm-hmm. From 9 to 10 is going to be the new hard spot. And in a game like this, I think that's natural. I really do. I think that is probably the best place for the game to be, because like all the whales who have Relic 9 everything are going to be starting at the same place. They have exactly as many Relic 10s as you do.
Yeah.
And so of course they're going to get Relic 10s faster, but they get everything faster. If we don't touch anything, they still are going to be the top, right? But I feel like changing the focus for late game players to a new goal is kind of like, you have to admit that that's understandable. That's kind of where the game should be. Now, the feeling of having a Relic 5 team that used to be able to take out a Relic 8 team, the one I think of all the time is Traya. My whole Traya team is Relic 5, and they could punch up. Inquisitors, Relic 9, 8, I don't care. I got it. And that, might not be happening. It might still, because I mean they're pretty tanky, and you've got insta kills; those are unaffected, right? But I look at that team and I'm like, all right, well, I have been kind of skating by at Relic 5. I should invest in them more. That's fine. That's not every team, but that's kind of how I see it. Is like, this is the natural progression of where the game kind of has to go. And and like you said, if they just introduced Relic 10, no one would care. You'd get a handful of characters up to Relic 10 and you're pretty much done.
Yeah.
So I think my biggest plea to the community is everyone's mad right now. Everyone's looking at these numbers and they're looking at the scaled back numbers and they're saying, no, it's still terrible. Don't do it. And I understand where you're coming from. I do. It's scary. I get that. But I've seen a couple mentions of, you got to wait for it to be in game to know how it really feels. And it may just be terrible, but like, people are saying it's going to kill the game and all these people are going to quit. Every time there's a change, people quit. People quit over Datacrons. People quit over Order 66 raid. People quit over all kind Omicrons, all kinds of things. That's not great, but that's going to happen in some capacity. But even when it comes to the game, that's not the test. I think the test is when it launches in the game and you take your team that used to be an effective counter and you get whooped this time. And you say, wow, that didn't work. Let me build them up a couple more relic levels and try that again. And you try it again, and maybe this time it does work. How do you feel? Do you feel like that was a pain that you had to go through that? Or does it feel like, all right, I can do this? That's going to be the test. Even when it launches, people are not going to, you're not going to be able to say in the first week, like, oh, this is a failure. No, this game is a grind. You're going to have to grind with it to know if this worked or not. Maybe it won't. I don't know. I am not super confident, but I also just think we are so quick to rush to judge these things. And there's a big difference. There's a big delta, if you will, between this looks like a pretty bad idea and I quit. And that's my plea to the community.
Well, I mean, I think the more that we talk about it just in general, though, and I think the more that, I mean, again, I think you and I have said it for a while, like this game also, too, is about making money. And if you have someone that does have all the Relic 9 characters, what do you have left to do in the game? I mean, what else are you there? What is the daily enjoyment that you're getting?
Is that when people start caring about territory wars?
Maybe, right? I mean, think about it. But I mean, even kind of with what you were saying a second ago too, like, I mean, when you look at the relic levels, you look at like, even what am I doing? What you're really going to do is you're going to slow down progress in some ways. It's going to make it like, the first thing I think about is the fact that if I have to start relic knighting characters, it's going to be tougher for me to get my pirates done. That means it's going to be a longer time for me to get my Galactic Legend, which again, in my brain, that says that sucks, that I'm not going to get something as quickly as I should be getting it. But in their mind, all that's really doing is making it where I'm not going to have, it's going to be tougher for me to get to the point. And I've heard people actually say that I have nothing else to do. I don't even have to get my energy because it doesn't matter. I'm already where I need to be. If this truly forces it to where, again, it slows down some grinds, that means you're not constantly going to be like, okay, I got nothing else to do. This game has nothing for me to do. Hopefully it creates more of those daily victories. But I do want to get to this too, because I know we've been talking about this for a moment. But when I did play Marvel Strike Force, and I wanted to bring this up just because I played it for 5 years. They came with Empowered. Now, let's just say I was
overpowered, right?
Overpowered. There we go. Yeah, sorry. I was the suckerfish at the bottom of the tank that's just like, I'm just cleaning up the scraps, right? Like, I didn't spend. Well, I spent a little bit of money when I first got into it, but it was like a hyperdrive bundle, right? So like, I didn't have the best of the best, and when they switched to that, it truly made it to where I really couldn't do anything. Nothing that was going to be there for it. So they did have. And for me, it caused me to truly say, I don't want to do this. And so I quit the game, right? So,
and that's very possible here, too. I admit that is possible, that people are going to have that happen here.
But I want to kind of say, and again, I'm going to quote some of this here. I'm not going to read it just full out. But they said, in the last post that they have seen Marvel Strike Force, right? Other similar games that have the same type of concept. But they're saying that they are looking at this as, okay, we want to do better than what they did. And if it truly is, like, again, it didn't work for me because I wasn't truly invested, right? They said that there's two differences here, is that, like, this is they want to get to where Galaxy of Heroes is a gradual curve, and they're saying it is, and it kind of is, right, for free to play. You are going to gradually boost your power to make it to where you're going to be better. And the other system that they had, they're saying it didn't work as well as what we're going to have. Okay. So I get it, right? And then the second piece to it is that it really goes through, and they're trying to change, if they do change the rate of how we get the relic levels, it's not going to be as bad as what it is there. Like, to go from 19, so for their gear 19 or whatever we call it there, go from 18 to 19 for a free-to-play player, it's a long time, like a really long time to get to there. And then go to the last one, it's a super long time. Now, if we can get it to where we don't have to worry about gear anymore, and then relics, you can get to 5 really easy, and then from 5 to like 7, it's a little bit tougher. And then, or there's different ways to get those relics. I mean, I don't think a lot of us are going to be as maybe upset about that. But again, I think the problem when you go back to it, it's just that trust. I think the trust with the community versus CG, it's like
it's not there.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not there. Clearly, I'm not saying it should be or it shouldn't. I'm just saying observationally, it's not there. Yeah. I love that mention about other games. Did you ever watch Arrested Development?
Yeah.
When Tobias and Lindsay are talking about having an open relationship, and I pulled up the quote because I love it so much. When she says, "Well, did it work for those people?" And he says, "No, it never does. I mean, these people somehow delude themselves into thinking it might, but it might work for us." My wife and I say that all the time, not about having an open relationship, but about, we'll just say, but it might work for us. It did kind of feel like that, but they do make a good point that they are not just making the top tier unbeatable. It is scaled in a way that even if you can't get to Relic 9 or 10, can you get to 7? Can you get to 8? Because I feel like at that point, most of those counters would still work. Yeah. Because then we're just messing with Datacron numbers. The types of numbers that you get off Datacrons, that's an error of a margin of error right there that, again, I feel like everyone's going to listen and be like, Sean loves Relic Delta. But no, I'm trying to put it into a perspective of how bad is this?
Yeah.
How much damage is it really going to do to us? And like you talked about that Strike Force situation, like it might put some people in a situation where like they just lose all the time and it sucks. And they quit playing, and I will not fault them for it. Because if the game becomes unenjoyable, goodbye. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So anyways, my thing is looks bad on paper. V2 looks better. A lot of people are saying, no, it's just a terrible idea. It shouldn't happen. Okay, cool. But if you have a choice between version 1 and version 2, 2's better. Mm-hmm. So 2's better. It's going to take time. Like I said, it's a grind. You have to grind with it. Not just play some battles, but experience what it's like now, moving characters up. If Relic 5 and below is trivialized and 5 to 10 is the new actual grind, okay, that's what's up. That's what we're doing now. Everyone's doing that. So we'll see. I don't know. I feel like we beat this horse. Did we miss anything? Is there?
No, I think we got through.
I wanted to point out Conquest.
Oh, yes.
In the second version, they said Conquest doesn't go above Relic 5. So hard mode Conquest, tier 1 is going to be Relic 4. Tiers 2 through 5 are going to be stuck at Relic 5. So you're not going to get beat up in Conquest the way people, myself included, were fearing. So when it was first announced, that was a very real concern. Also worth pointing out, territory battles can only be skewed in your favor because there are relic requirements. You can't punch up in territory battles. You can't send Relic 3 people in to do anything. Yeah. You have to be at that Relic level. So it's only going to make it easier if you have like Relic 7 people on phase 1. They're going to wipe the floor, So that's worth pointing out. Will there be other things that pop up and prove me wrong completely?
Of course.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm going to be eating some crow. I know that. One other thing I wanted to point out, a silver lining to this, and you have to admit this is great. You, as much as you hate Relic Delta, you have to admit that this is good. All these people with Relic 9 cups are about to get a sweet reward.
Yes, they are.
Because he's gonna smoke so many teams. And like it's gonna be the Wild West for a couple weeks. Like people will show up with Relic 9 Jawa teams that you're like, what? Huh? Like everyone with these weird project teams is gonna be so sweetly rewarded until we kind of catch up and figure this out.
But I mean, I will say that there's another silver lining that I was going to add on too is there are some characters that if you truly put into Relic 9, Relic 10, that you just didn't think you're ever going to use. I mean, you may actually do something. And if all of a sudden you're doing at least for PvE type stuff, like Conquest, if they're going to be Relic 4 and you have a Relic 9, Farm Boy Han, yeah,
Farm Boy Han. Oh no, the sixth Han.
Farm Boy Luke, right? Imagine what if all of a sudden you can use him in Conquest.
Yeah,
because you went up to Relic 9, and I'm not saying that you should.
People with like characters like that they did for territory battles.
Yeah,
there's a lot of Relic 8 Hoth Rebel soldiers out there. A lot of them.
Yeah.
Get to work, buddy. Let's do this.
So the other piece too for this that we got to talk is that they also talk about there's going to be new game modes coming out.
Yeah.
There's going to be new events and updates to era-related journey guide events as well. So it really feels... Plus, the one thing that we got was a huge explanation, right? Like, they didn't have to. I mean, that was the other side. I really think that... I think they have... I'm going to be honest, maybe my opinion here. I think they need this to go well with the sale of EA as well. Like,
yeah,
I think this is a moment where they're trying to shake this game up, and it may bring a lot of revenue in, but I think they want to get this right.
I think part of that EA deal is that I don't understand how these work.
Yeah,
I don't. I'm not like rich people money smart. I'm like kitchen table.
Yeah,
I want to say I'm kitchen table money smart. Like, I understand how it works, but then I am terrible at managing my own money because I have no impulse control. But what I was saying is part of the deal is EA takes on $20 billion of debt that they have to pay back to interest to their new, I forget what it's called, but it's like owned by the Saudi government, right? Mm-hmm. And Jared Kushner. Yay. But they take on a bunch of debt as part of this deal. And that's something that private equity firms like this prey on companies. Like, EA is a huge company for a private equity firm to be doing this to, but they do need it to go right. And EA is not going under. No. That won't happen. But Capital Games is a very small part. They're not technically EA, right? But I don't know how the arrangement is, whether it's contracted or whatever. But like, they develop for EA. And with that much debt, EA is going to be going around looking at what they can cut. And if this doesn't pull in big bucks, that there's a chance, like, this isn't going to kill the game. The EA sale could kill the game. And I don't want anyone to draw a line between Delta and the sale. I am like 99.9% certain that those two things are unrelated bad news that happened in the same week. The amount of lead time that they've had to develop this Delta business versus when they found out about this sale, no way. There's no way that this is because of the sale.
Agreed.
I mean, maybe they had some pressure from EA to try a new monetary thing. Maybe a little, but certainly this wasn't developed for that. That's a gross misunderstanding of how both game development and purchasing works. So, yeah. Boy, we talked about that a little bit, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
So, Relic Delta, yay! Sean loves it. Unsubscribing right now. No, I don't. I'm trying to be measured in my response to it. I wish it wasn't happening, but it clearly is. So let's figure out how to live with it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we have gone on long enough. I don't want to talk about Grand Arena, do you?
No.
I can see that you lost 3 rounds.
I did,
and I won 3 rounds. We can just leave it at that.
Yeah. I lost hardcore.
Oh, I had a good week for once. 3 in a row. I looked on .gg. That hasn't happened since June. So, and it won't again till next June, probably. But all right. One thing we do have to get to before we wrap up is, as I've mentioned multiple times, this game is a grind. It's not a sprint. It's not a marathon. It's a whole grind. So who are you grinding?
Yeah. Well, the nice thing is Conquest is going on, So, and my Smee is finally done. So,
nice. Yeah. I forgot you didn't have him yet.
he got to gear 9 too, so he's doing great. But
Okay.
I had to hold off because the biggest thing that happened for us is, as we talked earlier, Mace has been unlocked, and I went from unlock to Relic 7. I will say,
Oof, nice.
I love that. You know, this poor guy though has no Zetas. I mean, luckily the Zetas. Weirdly enough, like the Zetas for Deepa are more important than Mace's, in my opinion, because like it really changes a lot of pieces to it. So either way, so he's a Relic 7, so that feels really good. Now I will say that means there wasn't a lot of else that I just basically last couple weeks been just preparing for that. But that's why he had to hold off for a moment. So he's going to get up to I'm not sure what Relic level just yet, but now I'm actually getting pretty excited about the clones. I'm ready to get these clones. Jeez, clones. What is wrong
Pirates?
with me? It's not even that late, and I'm using words aren't easy. Yes, pirates.
Pirate clones.
Pirate clones. That's what it is.
There you go.
And so I'm ready for these pirates to be done so we can start to play with them. So
yeah.
Now Captain Athano went from 28 out of 85 up to 26 out of 100. And so we're going to get him up to Relic 4 here just in a moment. He's Relic 2 right now. So Quiggled went from 8 out of 65 up to 32 out of 85. That is nice to get another start on there. Now, Kixed was just today for us released. So we have 6 out of 65 up to 9 out of 65, just sitting at Relic 0 at the moment. So really, I think the next one's Brutus. I only got 27 for Brutus right now, so I'm ready for him to get going. And then Silvo actually went from 27 out of 30 up to 4 out of 65, so got him into Relics. That was one of those little packs to kind of get him going. So, yeah, I went up. It was just Mace to Relic 7. That's really the only thing that I guess I did. But
grindy, right?
Yeah. And so Omicrons, I was waiting on one more Zeta, so I did give Deepa her Zeta for territory battles. Because I honestly think that even with all of this stuff, I'm probably going to go more PvE. I just think that's going to be good for me.
It's arguably more cost effective. A strong argument that it is.
First one is going to be Relic 4, and it's going to be Relic 5 as a whole. That means any Relic 7 characters, I'm going to really kick some butt in Conquest. And
Now, they did say they might jack their stats up to compensate for it. So you're not going to be taking the damage penalty stuff, but it's going to be a different disaster, I'm sure.
Oh, I didn't see that. It keeps on getting worse. No, just joking. But yeah, so did use that for territory battles. Again, I think that team's going to be a lot of fun as a whole. So anytime I think I have most of the TB ones now. I'm going to continue on with that. So yeah.
Nice.
So that is my grind. Now, since I did so much grinding because I wasn't on last week for 2 weeks, I'm a little tired.
Yeah.
So I want to hear about your successes. So who you grinding?
We both got us a Mace this week, and I had the exact opposite problem. I had all the Zetas, no signal data. So I have him sitting at Relic 4 right now, which, it's not an emergency because I don't have Depa and Temple Guard up to Relic 7.
Yeah.
So, I can get him to 5, and it's basically meaningless to go beyond that unless I move all 3 of them up, which I plan to do. But, I'm going to get him to 5 and then catch my breath and see what else I need to be doing. Honestly, I think I might... For now, I might focus on getting Tarkin and Scorch up to Relic 9 so I can run that 2-man in the raid. I have tried it. They're both Relic 7 right now. It does not work at Relic 7. And I had someone in our guild run it also who has them at Relic 9 and does that routinely and said he can't get it to work at Relic 7 either. It's the bonuses you get at Relic 9. So, all right. So Mace, Relic 4. My other things, let's see. Sneaky Boy went from Relic 6 to 7. So that whole team can do Relic 7 stuff now. Hondo, I made some progress there. We got Athano up to 7 stars. He was 76 out of 100. Took him up to Relic 5. Helped a little, maybe, in the raid. I had just had a miserable raid. Yeah. Miserable. It was nice having Mace, but I could only do the Relic 3 tier. And, like, Bad Batch is always just a frustrating experience. And just the whole thing was upsetting. So that's why we're going to Relic 9 right there to take care of that. Quiggled went from 48 up to 74 out of 85. Kicks, I got 4 shards. So he went from 41 up to 45 out of 85. Brutus, I got some from the little pirate assault battle thing. So he went from 31 up to 38 out of 85. And Silvo went from 4 up to 15 out of 85. Additionally, the only other thing I can remember moving up was Baby Cal. I took him from Relic 3 to 5 when I found out about Relic Delta. I thought he's pretty important on a couple teams. Let's give him a little something, get him up to 5. And then I also gave him his Omicron, which I'm quite excited about. That's the one that activates Fulcrum Ahsoka's Omicron, which normally is only active if she is a solo character. But now I'm putting those 2 on my Rey team, and it's just stanky for Territory War. Stanky Rey. I love it. I'm sorry to everyone who has to fight it. They will smoke it still, I'm sure. Besides that, I got we have the new Datacron set, right? So as we were recording, I've thought, I haven't done anything with all the material you get from the last set dusting. So I took one up to Relic 9 to level 9, and I got Seer. I don't know. I want to kind of like Google and see what the consensus is. See what some of the more Datacron experty people like Sanjita say about it. Because it looks okay. I don't know. And then I took one up to level 6 and got a first order thing. So Datacron report is I have a couple. That's all we got for you this week. It may not be the best advice, but at least we didn't recommend Relic Delta to anyone. Yeah. Oh, we came close. If you want to continue the conversation, join our Discord server. It's linked in the show description. Become a real live Jawa by supporting us on Patreon and share your thoughts by leaving us a podcast review. Big thanks also go out to Pabuapa and swgoh.gg and swgohevents.com for providing all the hard data we misinterpret weekly. Thanks for tuning in, and may the Force and RNG be with you.